In the silent theater of geopolitics, the loudest signals are often the ones made of steel and concrete. For months, Western analysts have been monitoring a series of anomalies deep within China's Guangxi province. The data streams suggested something was being built, something on a scale that seemed to defy conventional engineering limits. But this wasn't just another skyscraper or dam. This was different. When the final images came through, even the most seasoned civil engineers were forced to reconsider the rulebook. China hasn't just built a bridge, it has unveiled a technological statement of intent, a project so advanced it's being called a paradigm shift in what a nation can achieve. The question is no longer just what they built. The real mystery is how. What hidden technologies are they deploying? And what does this engineering leap mean for the global balance of power? Because what we're about to show you isn't just a record-breaking structure. It's a glimpse into a future that for most of the world is still decades away. To understand what's happening in the remote gorges of Guangxi, you have to understand the foundation it was built upon. For 30 years, China has been engaged in the most extensive infrastructure program in human history. It wasn't a random boom. It was a methodical, synchronized effort to forge a new kind of civilization. Its high-speed rail network, now stretching over 45,000 kilometers, created a web of connectivity that barely existed a generation ago. Its colossal hydropower projects, like the Three Gorges Dam, tamed the world's most formidable rivers, generating the power to fuel its rise. Entire cities have risen from farmland, with skylines that are living laboratories for rapid construction and urban efficiency. This is the system, often overlooked in the West, that China has perfected. A synchronized machine where universities, state-run research centers, and construction giants move in absolute lockstep. Each achievement became a platform for the next. Building the world's largest rail system demanded new materials. Constructing monumental dams required mastery over geology. This vast ecosystem of shared knowledge created a feedback loop of accelerating progress. And now, that ecosystem has produced its masterwork, a project that stands apart from everything that came before it. Meet the Pingnan Third Bridge and the Tianlongtan Grand Bridge. On paper, they are arch bridges. In reality, they are monuments to a new era. When the plans were first circulated, they were met with skepticism. The Pingnan Third was designed with a main span of 575 meters and the Tianlongtan with an astonishing 600 meters, making it the longest span arch bridge on Earth. At these lengths, the laws of physics that govern arch stability become unforgiving. The structure's own weight becomes its greatest enemy. Yet, they stand. Their secret lies in a revolutionary approach to composite architecture. The arches are not solid steel or concrete, but massive steel tubes filled with a specially formulated high-strength concrete under immense pressure. This design merges the tensile strength of steel, its ability to be pulled, with the compressive resilience of concrete, creating a structure that is both lighter and stronger than conventional designs. But how do you build such a colossal arch over a 700-meter deep gorge? You don't build from the ground up. You build from the sky down. Engineers, led by Professor Jilian Zhang of Guangxi University, employed a radical technique they call cable-stayed fastening with cantilevered assembly. Instead of massive ground-based scaffolding, segments of the arch were lowered and suspended in midair from massive cables. Guided by satellite positioning and laser measurements, each segment was meticulously joined, creating the arch piece by piece while suspended over the abyss. It was less like construction and more like assembling a colossal puzzle in zero gravity. The materials themselves represent another leap. The team developed what can only be described as intelligent concrete, a mix infused with nanosilica and reactive microcapsules. When microscopic stress fractures form, these capsules rupture, triggering a chemical reaction that seals the crack. It is autonomic repair, built into the very molecular structure of the bridge, an infrastructure that heals itself.
But the most profound innovation isn't the steel or the concrete. It's the invisible architecture of data and intelligence that underpins the entire project. This is where China's technological lead becomes undeniable. Before a single piece of steel was forged, engineers built a perfect digital twin, a virtual replica of the bridge in a simulated environment. On this digital model, they unleashed every conceivable force: 100-year storms, seismic shocks, and extreme temperature shifts, simulating decades of material fatigue in a matter of weeks. They tested the structure to failure in the digital world so they could guarantee perfection in the real one. During construction, artificial intelligence became the unseen site foreman. Thousands of embedded fiber optic sensors streamed real-time data, stress, strain, temperature, vibration into an AI control system. This system didn't just monitor progress, it guided it. If it detected a minute imbalance in cable tension or arch alignment, it would automatically recalibrate construction parameters, ensuring the structure remained in perfect equilibrium at every stage. Automation performed the tasks demanding impossible precision. Robotic welders, operating under the guidance of remote engineers, fused massive steel segments with microscopic accuracy, eliminating the potential for human error that can lead to long-term structural weakness. Even now, completed, the bridges are alive. They operate as a dynamic, thinking system. The network of sensors continues to feed data into a predictive maintenance platform. This AI doesn't wait for problems to appear. It forecasts potential weaknesses years in advance, recommending preventative maintenance long before any human inspection could detect an issue. It is infrastructure with a nervous system. This fusion of digital twins, AI oversight, and advanced materials is what truly sets these projects apart. And it raises a critical question. Why is this happening in China and not in the West? For decades, the United States was the benchmark of progress. But today, Western infrastructure projects are often mired in fragmented ecosystems. Innovation is siloed within private corporations, groundbreaking research remains locked in academic journals, and progress is dictated by short-term political cycles and risk-averse regulatory frameworks. China operates on a different philosophical plane. It views infrastructure not as a cost to be debated, but as the essential backbone of its national destiny. Megaprojects are funded as strategic imperatives, and the state orchestrates a seamless, symbiotic loop between academic research, industrial application, and technological development. Professor Zhang's theories didn't stay on paper, they were immediately translated into steel and data because the system is designed for it. This centralized top-down approach creates an engine of progress that is difficult to counter. Where the West sees a construction project, China sees a real-world laboratory, a classroom to test and refine technologies that will then be deployed across every other sector. The Tianlongtan Bridge is not the end of the story. It is a beginning. The technologies pioneered here are already being adapted for other fields: the AI control systems for aviation, the self-healing materials for spacecraft, the robotics for autonomous manufacturing. Each megaproject is an incubator, feeding an ever-accelerating cycle of innovation. Through its Belt and Road Initiative, China is now exporting this model. It is not just building ports and railways in Africa and Asia, it is exporting an entire technological ecosystem, and with it, its influence. The world is watching, struggling to comprehend the sheer velocity of this transformation. The gap is no longer just about the size of a bridge or the speed of a train. It's a gap in vision. It is a systemic divide between a civilization focused on maintaining the present and one relentlessly building the future. The ultimate anomaly isn't the bridge itself. It's the system that created it. A system that learns, adapts, and evolves with every project it completes. The rest of the world isn't just trying to catch up to China's last achievement. It's trying to comprehend a system already designing the next generation. The real question is no longer who will build the world's biggest bridge, but who is writing the blueprint for the 21st century itself.